So today I'm talking about running races because I was inspired by the Olympics recently, the 1924 Olympics. From 100 years ago, there's a runner, his name is Eric Liddell, and he thought his chance was over, but he won gold instead. And his story inspired the movie Chariots of Fire. Great movie if you haven't seen it. There's a story from the recent Olympics about how it looked like a gymnast was done. She couldn't win. Now, in the 2024 Olympics, we know Simone Biles as the most decorated gymnast in American history. Back at the 2020 Olympics, held in Japan, Simone stepped back from competition and had to let her team go on without her. She began having mental trouble with her motivation and with her focus. She had already made the team. They were already at the Olympics, just like Eric and Harold had been. They were already there. She was there at the Olympics with her team. She was competing. Everyone was on high alert. It was the midst of the COVID pandemic. There were no spectators. There were no crowds. There were only competitors and coaches with masks and social distancing. It was 2021. It had been delayed. Simone began having trouble as a gymnast where she's in the air doing a twist or turn and she loses her spatial awareness. She doesn't know if she's up or down. It's a dangerous, dangerous place to be. She's doing this routine and she forgets, where am I? So even though I gave up my Olympic hopes as a gymnast last year, we can all imagine what it would be like driving a car down the highway. You've done that hundreds or thousands of times. What do you think would happen if you're driving that car down the highway and you forget how to drive? It's terrifying, isn't it? That's what happened to this gymnast. She was terrified. And she decided that, I could crash, I could fall, I could break bones. I could do some serious damage, so she made this really tough decision. She gathered up her coaches, she gathered up her teammates, and she said, hold on, I've got to step back from competing. But it wasn't just about herself. She was concerned about her team. She said, if I get an awful score, then I'm going to tank my team score. And she stepped back. So she took a lot of heat in the media for that decision. There were people who called her a quitter. But I want to tell you, that took a lot of strength, a lot of courage to step back and say, hey, self-knowledge, I know I need to step back. We've got to know when to run, and we've got to know when to stop. So she stepped back so that she could step back up. It's a vital lesson for us. It's a place of spiritual knowing, a place of spiritual understanding for me to say no, or not now, or this energy is not where I need to be. I need to be here. I need to shift. I need to move. I need to step away. We can still love others and step away from a situation if we need to. It's a place when you do that, where you do that self-care and that self-love, that's a place where you begin to grow spiritually, where you step back and take a breather. It's self-love and self-care. And when we do that for ourselves, we also help others do that too. And sometimes we take that breather, step back so we can step up. Simone stepped up for one of her teammates, Jordan Childs. Jordan was another elite gymnast who was ready to quit. She'd struggled with motivation, with her health. She'd been passed over for teams. She'd been inconsistent. She's part of this 2024 team. Simone knew what it was to have people write her off. So Simone invited Jordan to come train with me, come be with me. Let's be a team. They started working together not on routines or skills, but on their love, their connection, their confidence. It takes a lot of togetherness to get things done. It takes dedication and hard work and joy in the process and other people helping you run the race and reach for the gold. The stories of the Olympic teammates Eric Liddell and Harold Abrams from 1924 and Simone Biles and Jordan Childs from 2024 teach us some deep truths. We run the good race. We step back sometimes so we can step up. And we lift others as we rise too. Like Eric, we can run a good race in life. We run as hard as we can, and then with God's help, we can run harder, faster, stronger. Like Simone, we learn that we can say no, we can step back, do some self-care so that we can step up. Like Harold and Jordan, we learn that being a part of a team is a tremendous blessing. We truly lift others up as we rise individually.